Good morning, YouTube. So today we're here with a friend of mine, Jennifer, and we're gonna talk about camping with wildlife and why you should not be afraid of wildlife that's keeping you from hiking and camping. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your wildlife background.
Well, as you said, my name's Jennifer. I originally always had a fascination with animals and nature in general. It wasn't until halfway through college that I actually got involved with working with wild animals. I started out with reptiles, had some experience with other animals along the way. Just friends and family asked me to help rehabilitate, injured animals. But that just really caused my love for them and inspiration to help them even more.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So in general, how concerned, if at all, should someone be about animals while hiking and camping?
Really not at all concerned. You might come across one on the very rare occasion, but as long as you stay aware that, you could potentially run into them or you're out in where they live, consider their home, you'll be able to avoid them because they're really trying to avoid you. When they feel your foot vibrations or they hear the sound of your voice, they'd rather stay away than to investigate.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what's the best way, in your opinion, to avoid an attack by a wild animal while out in the wild?
So it does depend on your animal. If it's a snake, for instance, definitely keep your distance. Don't approach at any point. They'll probably try to strike you if you get within a foot or two distance of them. They're also going to warn you before they do that. They'll hiss at you. They'll probably false strike. They act like they're going to bite you, but they won't. Or if it's a rattlesnake, it'll rattle its tail. If it's like a bear, the best thing to do is to stay really calm and talk to them, with a soft voice. Let them know that you're not like another animal. You're not going to growl or bark at them, and just slowly back away as you can. It's usually misunderstood that when they rise up onto their back hind legs, they're trying to attack you, but really that's their curious state. And so as long as you remain calm when they do that, they might just sniff or huff at you and then hopefully go away.
Not bluff charge?
Yes. It's not like an elephant.
And I've heard you shouldn't look a black bear in the eyes.
Okay.
I don't know why that is. I guess maybe it's a dominance thing. But yeah, that's what I've heard. And but a grizzly bear, you should look it in the eyes. I don't know what that's about. But how likely would a snake be found in your tent, sleeping bag, and what are the odds that you would even find a snake around your camp?
Honestly, I've gone camping a decent amount, and I've never, ever once had the problem where a snake is in my tent, in my rucksack, or even near the campgrounds. I might have come across a snake once or twice on the way to my campsite, but never once I've gotten settled in. Because, like I mentioned earlier, they're going to try to avoid any human interaction as possible.
They just want to stay away from people.
Yeah.
As much as they can.
And it also depends on the time of year. Like right now, middle of winter.
Well, there with that.
You're most likely not going to see a snake.
Well, no tea today.
That's all right. Yeah, because they're ruminating right now. So it's like their form of hibernating.
Sweet. So what's the best way to avoid being attacked by a snake? I think there are a lot of misconceptions about snakes in general.
Yeah, there definitely are. They're very misunderstood and feared for that misunderstanding. The best way to avoid being bit is to just keep your distance. Don't poke it, don't agitate it. If you can tell that it has a swollen stomach as if it's a pregnant female, she's going to be a little more timid and aggressive towards you.
Yeah.
As well as depending on the species. There's snakes that, a lot of them are more docile, like a hognose snake, whereas a rattlesnake, automatically aggressive. So just keep your distance and don't give it any reason to want to strike you.
or like a cottonmouth or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are naturally aggressive as well. They're just more territorial, is what it is. So they're going to defend what they consider their home.
I gotcha. What's the best way to, in your opinion, to avoid an attack by a bear or like a bobcat?
Avoiding attack by a bear is stand your ground. Don't crouch down. Don't run away. Just stand very firm and wave your hands in a slow motion. Like, have them out inside your body. Just like slowly wave them while talking to them, because then they'll associate you as not a threat or a predator. A bobcat, on the other hand, the exact opposite approach. You're going to want to keep eye contact with it. Do not turn your back, because with any large wildcat, that means to them that they can attack. So just back away slowly, maintaining eye contact, being loud, either like toss a log, like a stick or a rock in their direction, not at them, but just to let them know like you're going to stand your ground against them if you need to, but you're just trying to get away as well.
That makes sense. They sound scary too.
They do, more so than bears, honestly.
Are bears and wildcats even a threat when you are hiking or camping?
I've never come across a bear or a wildcat. I've been all over Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama. Never once encountered one in the wild. I've seen baby foxes, but they're usually just running through the trails. And even then, like, a fox isn't going to attack you either. So I don't think any of them are a concern.
Foxes are too cute to attack, unless they are rabid. So let's see. What are your perceptions on snakes, and how can people start to change their perceptions on snakes?
I love snakes. I have my own pet python. I really want to get a corn snake. With my research that I had with the graduate student, where I was at first originally scared of snakes, and I had to overcome that and just kind of accept it as, in order to get this credit and get my experience, still my only option. And through that, I learned more about them, their anatomy, their biology, how they work, their behaviors as well. And you really start to understand the animal, and it doesn't seem much different from you after that. So I absolutely love them. And I think if you want to overcome a fear you have or a misunderstanding, to just learn about them. Read up on them, research them, watch videos.
Go to a petting zoo, handle one.
Yeah, Renaissance Festivals has them.
In my opinion, I think that would be a good way to get over your fear of snakes, is just to go handle one.
Slow exposure, yeah.
I think so. I think you tried to get me to handle your ball python at one time.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do it. I'm too afraid of snakes.
A lot of people are.
Why do you think people fear wild animals, and how did you, if you ever did fear them, change your way of thinking?
I think it's right there in the name, wild animals. We assume that since it's wild, it has no sense of morality. And so, technically, yes, they're just trying to survive, but by saying it's wild, you may also categorize it as it's rabid, or it's angry or aggressive, or just always going to attack. And so if we can get around that misinterpretation of what wild really is, it's just not domesticated, then I think that there'd be a better relationship between humanity and essentially wild animals.
That's true. A lot of people thought that the natives were wild and crazy and weird and murderous and unpredictable, but really they were some of the most advanced civilized people on the face of the earth. So
yeah, they just had,
it's just a perception thing.
Different way of living too.
Right. Let's see. What animal besides humans do we have to fear the most when camping, hiking in the wild?
Love that you said besides humans, because they are definitely number one. But in terms of like bears, foxes, bobcats, snakes, you really just need to be aware of them. You don't need to be scared of them. You don't need to be feared of them. If anything, be scared of ticks.
Ticks are bad,
Yes.
especially here in the southeast. But
they carry all kinds of diseases. They can make you allergic to red meat. And they're really hard to see and detect. But the ones that you can like hear, rustle around, growl, snort, whatever sounds they make, shouldn't be feared.
except for humans, because I think that humans are probably the most dangerous animal in the wild, out hiking and camping, to be honest, because humans are just like any other animal, unpredictable, and can have really bad reactions to some things that they don't understand. So,
Oh, for sure.
and have you ever been scared or afraid of anything while camping? Like, what's your scariest moment while camping?
While camping, I do have one while hiking.
Hiking will work.
I was at Little Grand Canyon, and there were some wild boars, but it was a mother and her pups, and so naturally mothers be more territorial and aggressive, and with boars you also keep your distance because they will charge at you, and you can hear them from pretty far away.
Yeah, they're loud.
As far as camping, it was actually humans I was afraid of. My friend and I were out camping, and she made friends with some other people on the trail to set up camp right next to us. I don't think I slept at all that night. I didn't know them.
Let's see. I think that's probably the most scared I've ever been around, like, is camping. Well, while camping was around humans. Just because I said you never know what those people are thinking or doing or where they came from or who they are. So totally unpredictable. And just like the tea debacle that we just had, totally unpredictable. Can't believe I even did that. Yep, so I drove about an hour to get here today, and I had some water in my usual water bottle that I can use with this, but I ended up leaving it at home. So then I got some more, and I just totally threw it all over the ground.
It's not meant to have water
Sorry
today.
about that. Yeah. Tea was a bad idea, I guess.
It's all right.
In the grand scheme of things. But thanks for coming on, and I think that will help a lot of people try to get over some fears that they have about camping and hiking in the woods. And really the only way you can really get over that is to just start out slow and just like go out in your backyard, camp in your backyard, just get used to it. And because you got animals in your neighborhoods or whatever else. So I think the more that you expose yourself to camping and getting used to it and getting used to the sounds of things, because everything at night is so amplified. Good case, like a couple weeks ago, we were camping and there was an armadillo that was going right outside our tent, like going up the side looking for grubs and things. And I thought it was a deer because it was so loud. But I looked out and there was a little armadillo there just scattering across the ground, pushing stuff along with his nose, which is cute because you just want to sit there and watch it. But it's like 2:30 in the morning, so. But yeah, I think that's it. But the snake, the only time I've ever ran into a snake that was threatening was, like I was telling you earlier, in Arizona by that western diamondback rattlesnake. And that scared the hell out of me, and still feel bad about pushing my wife into the cactus because I was trying to save her from the snake. But it is what it is.
Better than being
she wasn't too mad. So that's the only thing. That's the only thing more dangerous than snakes is a mad girlfriend or wife, because you never know what they're going to do to you in your sleep. Just kidding. But that's it for today, and thanks guys for tuning in, and Sorry about the audio quality. I had to film it with my iPhone because I also grabbed the wrong SD card today. So today it just seems like it wasn't meant to be a day for videos, but we made it happen with an iPhone. So thanks again for tuning in, and stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next one.